family from the gaming universe. I'm Paul Burry, and with me is
Teen Gamer.
And we are here for a top 10 of the top 10 best NES 8-bit. What does NES stand for? Do you remember?
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Good job. All right. So I guess I will start today, and I'm going to tell you, I had such trouble. This was an era when I really started getting into gaming as a kid. So for me, picking just 10 was so tough.
I had the opposite problem. Picking 10 was a real task.
You weren't in this era, so that would be why. You weren't born and you didn't play a lot of these games like I did. So anyway, my number 10 is, and I really battled back and forth with a couple games, but I was like, I gotta get this on my list. Crystalis. I played Crystalis like crazy on the NES. Love that game.
My number 10 is Super Mario Bros. The one that's like in that platformer, not the one where you jump on turtles and that weird one.
Yeah, the platformer one, the one came with Duck Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My number 9, and I can't believe I almost forgot this as I was making my list, Tetris. And I personally prefer the Tengen Tetris.
The communist one.
Yeah, if you disagree, leave a comment below, but I'm telling you, to me, that I like the Tengen one better.
Why do you just like unlicensed games?
I don't know, maybe because I like the renegade companies, the ones who didn't, bow down and worship Nintendo. So, I mean, the ones who actually stood up.
My number 9 is Jaws, not because it was a good game, but because the speedruns are actually fun. Mostly because you can't stand to watch more than like 10 to 15 minutes. That's as long as it takes to beat the game, so.
There you go. My number 8 is DuckTales. And you may remember on the, I think, PS3 and Xbox 360, they redid it. They remastered it. Mm-hmm. Fun game back in the day. And you go different places and, different locations. You kind of pick.
They haven't remastered 2, though.
No, they haven't. No.
I didn't even know there was 2 until today.
There you go.
My number 8 is Mother, which is the predecessor to Earthbound. It was only released in Japan, but I have it on the Game Boy. It's a totally legitimate copy of the game. Translated
by fans. My number 7 was one of my favorite games as a child, and the first game where I got to have a character change into different animals, or maybe he rode the animals, I can't remember, it's been so long. Little Nemo the Dream Master. That was
a series or something like that, or a video. You did
probably
something with it.
Yeah, I really like that game.
My number 7 is Bomberman. The original, because Bomberman R is coming to different consoles, and that reminded me of the original.
Super Bomberman R. Mm-hmm. My number 6 is Tecmo Super Bowl. This was a game that me and my friends played to death, and we learned the wonderful Tecmo strategy of take the quarterback, run to your end zone, throw a 100-yard pass and a touchdown. For some reason, they would let you do that in that game.
It was not very intelligent.
No.
My number 6 is DuckTales, which you have on there earlier, same reasons. Good
game. My number 5 was one that I thought was going to be completely lame until I played it and had a blast with it. It's A Boy and His Blob. Probably for the 8-bit era, it was one of the strangest games, but also one of those innovative games where you had this blob that followed you and it would become a ladder if you could give it certain jelly beans. They also redid it on the Wii, yeah.
I think they've done it as well for like PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 5 is Donkey Kong, the one where he's throwing barrels at you.
A well-known game. My number 4 is Super Mario Brothers 3.
The one with the raccoon?
The one with the raccoon, yes. I know a lot of people seem to really like 2.
Oh.
And personally, I don't get me wrong, I enjoyed 2, but to me 3 was so much better. 3 had a map screen. 3 had all those different warp whistles and so many different kinds of levels that, and plus you had I can't remember if that one had the frog suit and the raccoon.
I thought the frog suit was 2. Or was it?
No, I don't think there was any suits in 2. I think 3 had the suits. So anyway, I really like 3 the best from that era. That's just me. If you disagree, leave a comment below.
My number 4 is a game just called Pinball. It started Pinball. We have a couple of videos of pinball games on our channel. We have the Pinball FX3.
We might have even recorded that pinball game on the NES.
Maybe. Who knows? It's been so long since we've done an NES game.
My number 3, I had to give something to the kids. I had to give a kids game. That would be Sesame Street Big Bird's Hide and Speak. For the Sesame Street games,
Sesame Street one.
it's one of the better ones.
That was literally the only one I didn't find when I looked up a list of all the NES games. Is it an unlicensed one as well?
No, it was from like High Tech or that. It was this company who's gone now. They went bankrupt a long time ago. Okay. We actually have a video, at least a video or two of Sesame Street Big Bird's Hide and Speak. So
my number
you can find it on our channel.
My number 3 is Tetris. You've talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
It still gets newer ones today. Puyo Puyo Tetris, that crossover.
And you know, the funny thing is, Tetris is well known as like one of the best retro puzzle games. But quite honestly, there were better retro games than Tetris. Just saying, I like Clax better, for example, or Quicks. I think Columns really dominated Tetris personally, but whatever. My number 2, and I had to pick one of the 3 games from the series, Adventures of Lolo 3. Of all the Adventures of Lolo games, which I love the Adventure of Lolo series. In fact, Adventure of Lolo is a family-friendly gaming Hall of Famer.
Did it get 100 or just a really high one?
A really high, I think it was like 96, 97. But all 3 Adventures of Lolo games earned our seal of approval, and it made it in the Hall of Fame. So.
My number 2 is Galaga, another one of the arcade games, because when I looked at NES, the only ones that I even understood and remotely liked were all arcade.
Yeah, NES was able to have a generally decent arcade quality for most games. Not all, but most. My number 1, and this probably comes as no surprise, is Bible Adventures. I found that game to be innovative. It's also a Hall of Famer, I believe. It got, as far as when I checked our game scores, it got the highest game score of any NES title that we've reviewed. So I like that. I like the multiple games in it, the multiple pick up more than one item, more than one character, like the animals. Noah could pick up a bunch of animals and take them. So yes, that game did have glitches, but I mean, so did just about everything else in NES, and so did the NES itself have glitches.
Every system had glitches. That one was extremely bad controlling.
I learned how to play it.
My number 1 is Skate or Die because it was EA's real first attempt at a skating game, which led to Skate 3 much later down the line, and the Skate franchise.
If we don't have that game, we should get it and try to play it.
I just found out they had a skate game. I was like, hold up now.
Yeah. So that's our top 10. If you have a different list, please leave it below. We appreciate your likes, your subscriptions, your family-friendly comments. Remember, keep comments safe for kids. You have anything more to say?
No, I'd just like to thank everyone for watching and say I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.